So I'm going to do a dry fit test of where the battery goes. The battery's going to go here. Pretty tight fit. There we go. So the battery fits in there. And I'm going to have the VESC going in here. Alright, but these wires are sort of going to get cranked right there. So I'm going to cut this part out. I don't need this tab, so let me just cut it out real quick. To expose the heatsink. Hey guys, so I've opened up a little bit, so I have more room here, and I'm gonna put the power button here. Even though this battery box comes with the power button here, on the Flipsky VESC, the wires don't reach, and I don't really want to extend it, so I'm just gonna make it here, and later on I'll just cover this up. Oh, that's perfect right there. Let me go ahead and secure the other side, and you can apply hot glue and some resin later on the inside to keep it waterproof. Alright, power button done. I've drilled out some of this hole a little bit bigger. I'm going to go ahead and fit the VESC here. I'm going to fit the wires through. So starting with the hall sensor wire, and then the motor, and also hall sensor wire, and then the motor. Alright, and let me go and just push it in. See how that fit is. And I want to mount the VESC just like that. And then I have this bottom of the VESC exposed, and I'm going to apply epoxy all over it on the sides. All right, also a little bit probably on the sides here. All right, that should keep it waterproof. All right, just don't let any air in it. Let me just double check the battery will fit here. Ooh, there we go. Pretty tight fit. Okay, I gotta make the VESC as close to this side as possible, but I still got room. It fits just perfect, and that should be fine. Let me just make a mark here. I just want to go above that line, so I gotta sort of push the VESC in and hold it down there. If I do that, that should be perfect. So what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and apply some, I find instead of bolting it down, because then I have to drill holes, and the Flipsky VESC is not great for mounting on stuff. Not too many good screw holes. This is a super glue gel. Alright, really holds it down real good, and then once it's down, I'll just epoxy it down. So let me just put some super glue here on the sides, on the top left here, top right, maybe where the screw mounts are. Right, just a little bit on the side. This is not the permanent solution, and I'm gonna go ahead and put epoxy after to hold it down. So hot glue, super glue in there. I'm gonna position it as much as this way as possible. I think And I'm gonna go ahead and hold it down, and that's right on the line. There we go. You're supposed to hold it for like 30 seconds. 1, 2. No. Ah! No. Okay. Will it hold? I just need to hold it down, so I have some time to sort of put the epoxy on. Oh no, it's not strong enough maybe. Okay, that didn't work. No, I just need to hold it down a little bit, I think. Let me try that again. Let me just start applying some epoxy. Then it will just really hold it down real good. Probably a little bit of epoxy on the back here. Oh, super glue worked. Staying in there nicely. Yo, super glue works. So I have to just hold it down a little bit longer, and hopefully nothing comes apart. Let me first go ahead and apply some here, so really hold it up. Let me just see. Yeah, it should be fine. So I'm just gonna apply on the sides here, corners. I'm gonna cover these holes. I just got some JB Weld epoxy. I don't know if I can do a clean job here. Fudge. I didn't think about that. I'm just gonna go on the sides here, real easy. Just put some on there. Okay, I'm just gonna use my hand and smooth it out because I don't have any other gloves. Let me just make sure. I think I can sand it later. Not the best work, but I mean, you know, if you're not going up steep hills, you don't need to do this, but I absolutely do. And you don't want your VESC overheating, your board stopping in the middle of a run. So I think I've got the epoxy on there pretty good. It's pretty much airtight. You know, this stuff is pretty strong. Use it on the golf clubs. I use it when I make golf clubs. You know, a little messy, but I think even just a little bit of metal exposed like that, it will do a fantastic job. Now I don't know if I can clean this up a little bit cleaner. You know what I should have done? Now I know. I should have actually taped up, used a painter's tape and taped it up. That way I could just pull it off. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I know it looks kind of ugly, but it should be fine. I just need it functional right now. It's not like I'm gonna look at the bottom of my battery box all day. I just want to make it real functional, and I'm not very happy with the look. But yeah, next time I'll just put some painter's tape, and I can make it look real clean. So put some painter's tape inside, and also when you do the outside, put some painter's tape around it. So when you're done with the epoxy, when it's cured, you can just pull it off, and it's gonna look real clean. So I'm your guinea pig, and look at that. Just a little metal exposed to the outside. Just simple thing like that, and this gonna keep it. It's still gonna be waterproof, right? No water can get in, but the metal, just a little bit of the metal is exposed. But I'm sort of regretting not. I just had the idea of using the painter's tape. So I'm gonna let this cure. Obviously, once it's cured, it should be pretty good. I mean, the epoxy stuff is really hard. I'm gonna put a little bit of epoxy down here. No scratch down there. Oh god. I think later I could sand it down and then paint over with black, and it'll be really hard to tell. I think maybe that's what I'll do. I'm not sure, but let me let that cure. Should take. I forgot to put the charger ports. It's gonna go right here. I drilled the hole, so I'm gonna just I'm gonna go ahead and hot glue the inside so it stays in. Other than that, go ahead and align how you're going to do it. So I'm going to actually get it crossed when I set it. So it's going to go like this and like this with all the wires. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. And the wire is going to go straight. All right. Just make sure the length of the wire is not too long. You can see I used a minimum amount of wires because the wires can heat up. Let's say you have extra wire and you bring it in top of the VESC, that wire can heat up and basically heat up your whole VESC and the inside of the battery box enclosure, battery enclosure. Also, I wasn't satisfied with the heat shrink, so I just put regular heat shrink without adhesive, and then I just heated the bottom so you have like a little tab, because there's a little metal that's showing and that could short the other wires. So this is sort of like a little protection for the bullet connectors. Also I've epoxied more on the inside to hold the VESC better. The back part of the battery box has cured really well. It's super hard. This is completely waterproof. I'll probably sand this down and then maybe paint it later. But for right now, I just want to put it together and see how the board runs. So let me go ahead and hot glue this over here. Okay, there is my charger ports. I'm also gonna hot glue the power button so it's waterproofed. So I've got the power button, I've got the charging ports, I've got everything ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, usually battery boxes will come with like a foam material that you can put like as a screw guide. This one unfortunately doesn't, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'll find out where exactly I want the battery box to go. So I'm going to go ahead and probably put it just like that. Right, and I'm going to go ahead and use some painter's tape to mark the spots where I want the edges to go. That way later when I put this down, I'll know where to put it down. So I'm just going to put some edges. Okay, just align it there. Where to align stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and use another tape. I'm going to just get the edges up here. And that should give me a pretty good idea where to go for that. So I just want to find out the edges on top here. That should be good enough. Next I'm going to go ahead and drill small holes. What you can do is tape down your battery box a little bit so it doesn't move while you do this. That's not moving. Make sure everything's even Steven, and we're ready to go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drill the screw holes. There's 3 on the sides. And let me just make a marking here. I'm not gonna actually drill through, I just wanna make the mark I need. Let me go ahead and just make bigger holes now. Actual real holes. Make sure your drill size is not too big. You want a nice snug fit. This is slightly smaller than the screw, I think. We'll just double check it's the right fit. Yes, it's just snug, so I'm just gonna leave that. Okay, do a dry fit and see how you did. Alright, the holes line up very, very nicely. So I'm ready to go. I need to apply this on top. That's why I made the edgings, and I'm just going to align it exactly where the tape is. Alright, I'm just going to use a little super glue. Just tape it up. Ah. Let me align this to my masking tape as even as possible. And let me see how that fits on top. Yeah, it fits perfectly. Somewhat perfectly. Okay, I don't need this masking tape anymore. Looking really good. Almost done. For this, I think I'm going to use 1.5 inches. Should be plenty to go there. And yeah, that should be perfect. So I'm going to have to use 2 inches. I just want to make sure I have enough screw. So let me go ahead and just put the screws on there. Just going to bore out a little bit on top so the top of the screw will sit a little better. If you want a complete polished look, what you can also do is put a new layer of grip tape. Take this out, and that way it'll just hide all the screws. You can do that too if you want to. Now let me just do another dry fit. Make sure the screws will easily fit through. It's a little tight fit, but yeah, that will work fine. Let's go tap it down. Works fine, so that will fit good. We're almost done. We're just gonna go ahead and hook up the motor wires. So I'm gonna go ahead and crisscross it like I said. I'm gonna make this go this way, so when I flip over, it'll be the right way. And I'm gonna just go ahead and undo the pet sleeves here. All right, it doesn't really matter which order it goes because you can fix it later in VESC. Alright, that's looking good. I'll pull the wires out so it's not too long. The hall sensor wire can be kind of long. Alright, it doesn't have to be super short. Also this side, I'm going to go ahead and connect the wires. Make sure the wires don't overlap. Otherwise you have to redo it. It sucks. Everything pretty much ready. Bring the sleeves up. All right, looks like I'm going to be a little bit short. I'll probably just use some electrical tape to make these ends. Now make sure your Bluetooth module and also your remote don't go near the motor wire. Sometimes if that happens, it can interfere with signal. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this right under the power button here for the Bluetooth. Let me just go ahead and tape up this so it doesn't move around. Like I said, the motor wires, you don't want it inside the box, but the hall sensor wires is fine because there's no high power. All right, it's not going to create heat or anything. Just make sure your motor wires are very short inside as possible. Look at that, it's almost done there. Looks all right. And you may want to put a little bit of neoprene, some kind of foam inside to not let the battery move. So I'm just going to grab a big piece here. It's sort of going to just hold it. Just a little rectangular pad will do. Like that. Then maybe a little bit on the side. Little long ones. Yeah, just a little. It just sort of absorbs some vibrations for the battery, so it won't slip around. It's sort of anti-slip. Let me go ahead and insert the battery now. The way I want it. You can see I've got perfect length for the charger port, and also I'm gonna go ahead and get this on there and double check everything works. I'm gonna go ahead and power on. So it's working. I have to redo the FOC wizard because the motor wires haven't changed. So that's good. Everything working. Just make sure to insulate these metal parts on the remote control. So get some electrical tape. Remember, if you have any floating electronics such as this, you don't want this shorting, for example, touching any metal while you're riding, and that could cause a huge problem. So there's nothing that's going to short in your system. And I'm going to apply some Kapton tape to hold everything while I flip it over. This is pretty much a permanent setup, so I'm not too worried about ever opening the battery box again. Okay, let me just put some tape, Kapton tape over the battery. Put another one over here. So my wires might come in a little bit, as you can see. That's fine. I'm just gonna push it in a little bit. Okay, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over and make it fit over the screws. Little tap on it. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring down my pet sleeve because it's a little too short. I'm gonna terminate it here with some electrical tape. Sorry for the angle. Let me just tape it off because I want to really protect where the wire goes underneath the motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply a little bit of electrical tape. Or you can also use a heat shrink, right? I think I'll tidy up later. For right now, I just want to sort of. I spent way too much time building this, and I really want to just go right with it for right now. But I'll probably get it replaced with heat shrink so it looks cleaner. And I'm gonna just zip tie this so that the wires don't move around. And it looks like the wires are naturally hanging real good clearance. Just lightly do that. I'll hold it. Lastly but not least, let me go ahead and insert the nuts. Make sure you use nylon screws, so it won't come off from vibration. You know what? These are too big. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the screws a little bit shorter because it's just way too long. I made a mistake. Oh yeah, 1.5 would be perfect. Okay guys, now I'm gonna pretty much tie it down real good. And we should be pretty much done here. As for these holes, this is actually a battery meter hole. Sorry, I lost a lot of that footage. I'm not sure what. Hi guys, so we're gonna do a test. I swapped out the pulleys because I was having some trouble. The belts weren't aligned, but they're aligned perfectly now. And I've switched the wheels to 97mm because cloud wheels, it just didn't feel right. I was losing a little bit of torque, and plus there was issues with cracking. Check out my video. I'll upload another video on the cloud wheels, but I would avoid them if you can. And I also had to swap out the remote because the VX2 remote, it won't let me change the ramping time. And it wouldn't go backwards fast enough where I could stop on these steep hills. Anyway, less talking, let's go. Oh, I just slipped there. I don't know what the fuck that was, but I screwed up made a scratch on my lens. Well, anyway, let's go for a little ride. I gotta adjust the trucks a little bit because I got a little speed wobbles. So, but it's definitely fast. I can feel it. I'm not gonna take it full throttle yet. It's gonna take me a while. It starts out much faster, especially on smooth road. Hear that? So I can do a kind of spin out. Woohoo! So it spins out pretty good. I gotta mess with the settings, but so like I said, the trucks are a little loose for going faster than 25. I think I was hitting about almost 30, but let's check. Yeah, so I hit 20 miles per hour there, and it was getting kind of wobbly. I just definitely need to fix up those trucks. Now it's looking real good. Everything running nice.